Hey guys, Heather Hooker here from the Fit Mom Tribe, and I want to talk about my 10-day experience with the Keto OS Max operating system. It's these exogenous ketones that come in this little packet. It's a powder. And I had been hearing about the keto diet. I had seen people talking about these ketones, but at first I really dismissed it. I thought that it was a fad. I thought that it was a quick fix. And I am like 100% against both of those things. So I didn't want to try it. I didn't want to learn anything about it. But I had come to a point personally where I just felt like I was really struggling. My weight was fine. I had gained a few pounds, but that wasn't my main concern. My main concern was my energy was just tanked. And it was to the point where I was drinking coffee cup after coffee cup after coffee cup all day long just to get through my day, like just to function. And I would fall asleep at night. I would lay down with my kids and try to get my kids to bed, and I would fall asleep with them, and I would sleep all night long. So I was going to bed at like 8 o'clock at night. It was hurting my marriage because my husband was, he didn't understand why I couldn't stay awake to hang out with him. And it wasn't anything to do with him. It was just, I was just like exhausted. I have anxiety. I've been diagnosed with anxiety for about 17 years. And my anxiety was just off the charts. If you've had anxiety, you know that it causes you to feel like you can't function sometimes. So I felt like my anxiety was really flared up. I also have rosacea, and my skin was completely broken out with rosacea, like the worst rosacea breakout that I've ever had. And I had been following a low carb, low fat, low calorie diet for about 3 years, mostly on, with the occasional off period. I definitely believe in life balance, so I wasn't 100% strict with that, but I had been doing that for so long. I had been working out regularly for a long time, but I just felt stuck, and I didn't want to eat low carb, low fat, low calorie anymore. I was sick of all of the foods that I could eat. I didn't want to eat oatmeal anymore for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just get tired of the same things and you want to do something different. And I knew, just because I always have like a holistic sort of approach. So whenever all of these things started going south with me, all of these things started kind of going haywire, I knew that the first thing that I needed to look at was my diet. And so I started to look at other methods and research other ways of eating. And the ketogenic diet had so many benefits. So I tried it on my own. I ordered a couple of books off Amazon. I tried to do the ketogenic diet on my own, and I failed miserably. I don't think that the ketogenic diet is a diet that is easy to do on your own, because it's not black and white. And your results aren't black and white. And, weird things happen that don't normally happen when you go on a diet. So I failed. And then a few months later, I saw these ketones, and I thought, okay, well, I know the benefits of the keto diet. I want to be able to eat a keto diet and be in ketosis, but I've had this hard time. So let me try these ketones. So the options were to get a 5-day package or a 10-day package. And because I was really skeptical, I went with a 5-day. When I got them in the mail, I drank the Maui Punch first. I did half a pack, and I thought it was so sickly sweet that it tasted like the glucose drink they give you when you're pregnant. I mean, it was disgusting. But I knew that your body will and your taste buds will kind of adjust to that. So I diluted it with water. I just added a ton of water to it, and I drank it, and I thought, okay, well, I can, to get all of these benefits, I can drink this super sweet drink. I'll just add so much water to it. So later that day, about an hour later, I did start to feel different. And I couldn't feel all the benefits yet, but I definitely felt like something was happening, which was exciting for me because that's what I wanted. I wanted something to change. I was so sick of the way that I felt before that I really wanted to feel better. So I did half a packet. The second day I did half a packet. And then the third day I started with a full pack, like a full serving of the Keto OS. Now I will say that during this time I had some of the digestive side effects, which is, diarrhea, and, it's not that fun to talk about. It's not that cool, but it is something that happens when your body is kind of switching from glucose to ketones, and it's very normal. I can say that now I've been on ketones for a few months, and they don't affect me at all. Sometimes I drink 2 a day, and I don't have any of that sort of digestive discomfort. So I knew that that was going to happen in the beginning, and that was a small price to pay. It actually felt good to get all of that junk and all that inflammation out. So by day 3, I started on a full packet, and this is when I noticed like the energy and the focus kick in. So I dropped my kids off at school, and I just felt like I didn't need that 3 o'clock cup of coffee anymore. I had all of these things that were on my to-do list, that had been on my to-do list for a couple of months, that I actually got to cross off. I got to finish and cross off my to-do list. And it wasn't even like huge things, but it was like, redecorating a bookshelf or rearranging a room or, going through a closet, all of those things that you just kind of put on the back burner. Well, I had so much extra energy and focus that I felt like I could start tackling some of these things, and that felt really good. During this time, I wasn't eating a strict keto diet at all, and I wasn't tracking anything. I just started to limit my carbs. So if we went out to eat for lunch, I would pick, something that wasn't on a bun, or I would eat a hamburger steak, or I would get a salad with ranch dressing, and I would pick the croutons off. So I was definitely cutting back on my carbs, but I wasn't obsessing. I wasn't tracking anything. And I probably wasn't getting in enough fat now that I've been doing keto for a while. But that worked for me as a way to sort of ease into this diet. I did feel that the constant carb and sugar cravings that I had before starting the ketones, I felt them disappear. And I don't mean like 100%. I mean, I still like cookies. But that constant sort of cravings for sugar and for carbs, they did go away. And it makes it so much easier to stick to a high-fat, low-carb diet when you're not constantly craving sugar and bread. So I did feel those go away. They definitely decreased. Some days they went away completely. Some days they just decreased by a ton. But I could tell a difference in that. I also started sleeping better. Insomnia is something that I've had a hard time with, or a problem with. And so I got my first solid night's sleep during that 10 days, and in a while, and it felt so good. So, some people experience something called the Woosh Effect during this middle time of your 10 days, and that's where your fat cells, they fill up with water and you can feel bloated. And then what happens is they swell, they fill with water, and then they're flushed out of your system. And it's called the whoosh because you can lose several pounds in like overnight, basically. I didn't have that happen to me, although that is very common. So I know that a lot of people will experience like a sort of bloating that happens. I didn't notice that, but I did notice that, 6 or 7 pounds that I had gained when I was just feeling really low started to melt away. So I was feeling really good. I'll show you my before and after, actually. because even though there wasn't a huge change on the scale, I felt a huge change in my brain and the way that just my day went and my night went and how I was feeling in general. And then when I compared my before and after pictures, I could see a huge difference in my trouble areas, which is one of the reasons why I really like the ketones and I like the keto diet in general, is that it's muscle preserving. So you don't just shrink down and lose your butt and your curves and, all the good stuff too. It actually targets your fat cells. So you get to keep your curves, which I love. And my husband loves. So let me see. So what else? So then I bought the 5-day. On day 3, I knew something was happening. So I ordered another 5-day, which was stupid because I should have just ordered the 10-day to begin with. But then on day 6, 7, my kids will be going crazy. And I'm normally not a very patient person. But they would be going crazy. And then I would open my mouth and it was like somebody else talking. Because whereas I would normally be snapping or yelling, I would say, now kids, calm down, or, just something weird. Like, it just gives you like this calm feeling. So I feel like it made me a better parent because I wasn't losing my crap all the time. So this was like day 6 or 7. I felt so good. I had seen all of these small changes. It wasn't like a 180-degree change from before, but I was seeing these little improvements in so many areas that I had been struggling with, that I decided to completely change my business. So I quit my partnership with Beachbody. I partnered with this company, Pruvit, and I decided that if these ketones were making me feel like this after just a week, that so many people could benefit from these and that I could really help a lot of people who felt like I felt to feel better by sharing these ketones with them. So it has completely changed my body. It's completely changed my daily life. There are some days I don't even drink coffee. I drink coffee now in the morning. I drink 1 cup and I only drink it because I just love it, like out of habit. It's, I can stay up later after my kids go to bed. It's changed my marriage. It's targeted like the trouble spots. Like, I don't know, it's this is my trouble spot, this like lower back area. And there was no amount of low calorie, no amount of workouts that seemed to target that area. So for me to see a change there was huge. And it's changed my skin, obviously. Like, I don't use any of my prescription skin medications that I used to get from the dermatologist. So it's basically changed everything. I've been on ketones now. I think I've maybe skipped 1 day ever. I've been on ketones now for 4 months, and I could never go back. Since over that 4 months, I've really transitioned to a ketogenic diet, a ketogenic lifestyle, which works, the ketones, for best results. They're made as part of like a ketogenic diet, ketogenic lifestyle. So even though I didn't start that way, I don't think that I personally could have done the ketogenic diet on my own. But with the help of these ketones and the decreased carb cravings and the appetite suppressant, I've been able to switch over to a high-fat, low-carb diet. I've been able to add in something called intermittent fasting. And I just feel like Heather version 2.0. Just better. In so many different areas. So if you want to get started with your 10-day experience, I'll post a link down below. You can grab a 10-day from me. join our community on Facebook for recipes, meal plans, and it's been really exciting to see so many people sort of experience this. So hopefully you'll be my next success story. So I guess that's it. I don't think I have anything else to tell about my experience, but subscribe to my channel. I have been sharing a lot of keto tips, keto videos. So I think that this lifestyle and this diet is just getting started. There's so many benefits to it that more and more people are going to be finding out about it. So thank you for watching, and I'll share my 10-day before and after.